welcome all the academicians, learned persons, intellectual to this platform, to this global platform. And we are going to start to the international webinar on the basics of qualitative, quantitative, and the mixed method. I would like to take the privilege to unmute our Dr. Binu Prasad Satalia, sir, principal from Nepal DBMS, also the country president of Nepal University Research Council. Very good evening, sir, once again. And may I request you,
good evening, sir.
Yes, sharing the screen of your device, and you can go for your presentation.
Very good evening, sir. Respected chairperson of the Eduksia Research Center, respected Sir Rituraj Saikia, sir, and respected Deputy Director Pratiksha ma'am, and a member of the Eduksia family, and my respected senior Professor Dr. Rajesh Kandur, sir, and all the participants and experts from different part of the country. First of all, I want to welcome you, and I want to say greeting from Nepal and namaste from Nepal. It's our tradition to say namaste. Actually, in this corona pandemic, just we used to shake our hands, but our just this tradition doing namaste is proved to be better than shaking our hands. That is why once again namaste to all. Yes, really. Professor Rituraj Saikia already declared that today's webinar is very important and interesting also. The topic itself is very top and very important. And most of the things and most of the research design, whichever the researchers want to do, actually only these three can come to the common sense, that is qualitative, quantitative, and mixed research design. The topic is very larger. If we go deeply, only one single topic takes fully 1 month to be completed. But here are 3 topics and we have to complete it within one presentation. So it is quite difficult to deliver all the things, all the aspects and all the elements regarding these 3 topics. But as I have made a plan to deliver and to share my ideas among you, I will go very surfacely. I'll try to give you a full introduction of these 3 research design. Yes. Before going to our topic, let us discuss about the research. What is research? Actually, research is a word that is formed after joining two words. One is the re and another is the source. Re means again, next time or second time, and source means analysis, find out, discover, invention, like this. And here, if we talk about the research, research is the process. Actually, it is not a new creation. It is the creation upon the first published and already made articles, journals, and dissertations. So it is an ongoing process, and research never ends and never stops. Because when the researchers find any knowledge gap of the published dissertation, thesis, or the journal, he himself try to prove that gap of the knowledge and try to make people satisfied. Again, any researcher is dissatisfied with the presentation or with the ideas forwarded by the one researcher, he himself try to give in his own ideas. In this way, the research process is ongoing process and it never ends. Yes. As I say, research is defined as the creation of new knowledge and or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way. So as to generate new concept, methodologies, and understanding. This could include synthesis, analysis of previous research to the extent that it lead to new creative outcomes. When we talk about the types of the research, of the research can be divided into different categories. It can be divided into different types. I have mentioned here only 3 categories and 3 types. According to the application, research has categories into pure research and applied research from the point of view of application. Similarly, from the point of view of objectives, research can be categorized at exploratory research, explanatory research, descriptive research, and correlation research. Similarly, from the point of view of information source, it can be divided or categorized into 3 forms, that is qualitative research, quantitative research, and mixed research. Yes, today's our business is these qualitative, quantitative, and mixed research. I am going to the point. Now the question comes, what is the qualitative research? Actually, a qualitative research design is concerned with establishing towards to whys and hows of the phenomenon in question, unlike quantitative. Due to this, qualitative research is often defined as being subjective. It is not a objective types. And findings are generated in the written format as opposed to the numerical. Mostly we found that in quantitative research, data collection and findings are written in a numerical forms, but in a qualitative research, instead of that numerical forms, it is written in a format, word format. So it is different than the quantitative research. Yes, qualitative research has also 7 types: ethnography research, phenomenology research, grounded theory research, historical research, case study research, feminist research, and action research. These are the types or the categories of qualitative research. When you talk about ethnographic research, ethnography is the branch of human inquiry. It is a branch of human inquiry and it is associated with the field of anthropology. Anthropology is directly connected with the human beings, their tradition, their behavior, community, their belief, their society, religion, like that. So it is associated with the human beings and the society also. It focuses on the culture of a group of people with an aim of understand their own worldview. And when we define the ethnographic research, it is a qualitative method where researchers observe and interact with the studies participants in their real life environment. The aim of ethnographic study within a stability project is to get under skin of design and problems. Next come phenomenological research. It examines human experience through the description and provided by people involved. And if we talk about the this type of research, it has overlaps. Sometimes it is overlaps with the essentiality, quality approaches, including ethnography, hermeneutics, and symbolic interactionalism. Pure phenomenological research seeks essentially to describe rather than explain, and to start from the perspective free from hypothesis or preconceptions. This is the phenomenological research. Then next come grounded theory. Grounded theory is sometimes known as GT also, is a research method concerned with the generation of theory. It generates the theory which is grounded the data that has been systematically collected and analyzed. It is used to uncover such things as social relationship and behaviors of groups, known as social process. It was developed in California, USA by Gloucester and Stratus during their study, Awareness of Dying. It is a general methodology for developing theory that is grounded in data, which is systematically gathered and analyzed. Actually, it has overlaps with essentially qualitative approach, including ethnography, hermeneutics, and yes, GT. It is a grounded theory that systematic qualitative procedures used to generate a theory that explain at a broad concept level of process and action with an interaction about substantive topic. It is the definition given by Crosswell. Similarly, grounded theory is the most common and widely used and popular analytic technique in qualitative analysis. It is mainly used for qualitative research, but sometimes it can be applied to collect other types of data also. Now, the next type of category of qualitative research design is historical design. Actually, historical research involves the careful study of analysis of data about the past events. It is a critical investigation of events, their development, experience of past. The purpose is to gain a clear understanding of the impact of the past, present, and future events related to life process. Actually, historical research design involves the review of written materials, but may include oral documents as well. It mostly uses written documents, but sometimes oral documents is also used in historical research design. It means it typically relies available data which are in form of diaries, letters, newspapers, reports, and so on. It covers categories such as historical, legal documentary, bibliographical, biographical, instructional, identical, and organizational. It has an important existing source for nurse researchers or hospital records, other sheets, nursing charts, physicians and care plans statement. They are equally useful to the nurse to have historical research design. Then historical research has been, I've got this from the Google, has been defined as the systematic and objective location, evaluation, and a synthesis of evidence in order to establish fact and draw conclusions about past events. It involves a critical inquiry of a previous age with the aim of reconstructing a faithful representation in the past. Now, next type of qualitative research design is case study method. Case study method, if we talk about the case study, discuss about the case study. A case study is an empirical study that investigated a contemporary phenomenon in depth and with its real life context. It is the definition given by Ian. Case is a bounded system, that is learning situation group is equal to case. When you talk about the case can be a single person, that means an individual, a group of people, or sometimes problem can be the case. And cases are unit of investigation, individuals, community, and group, as I have already mentioned. What can be the case? The case can be individuals, a case can be of communities, or the case can be of groups. Sometimes case can be the different problems. That can be the case on which the research is made and got the findings or outcomes. A case study is a research approach that is used to generate in-depth, multifaceted understanding of a complex issue. It's a real-life context. It is an establishment research design that is used to extensively in a wide variety of discipline, particularly in the social science. In most of the cases, social science, education, humanities, this case study is very fruitful. Now, the next kind of research design is feminist research design in qualitative research. Feminist. Methodologically, feminist research differs from traditional research. It is not a traditional. It actively seeks to remove power imbalance between research subject. It is politically motivated to seek the change social inequality. Whatever inequality is found in the society, this feminist design, the feminist design, try to get the solution of this inequality and the social disturbance also. And it is begin with the standpoints and experiences of women. There are three main types of feminist research design, that is liberal research design, radical research design, and cultural research design. Here are some characteristics of feminist design. Actually, this design seeks to relay overcome androcentric bias in the research. It tries to seek the create social change. It tries to seek the represent human diversity, and it acknowledges the positionality of the researchers. Now we are coming to action research. Action research is common type of research, and this is usually mostly used in academic field, in the field of teaching learning activities. If there is some problems in the course of teaching and learning, and some problems in academic institutions, in that case, action research is made. And the aim of the action research is to find out its main causes and immediately give the solution. That is why it is very popular in teaching learning activities and academic field. Action research design is an educational research involving collecting information regarding current educational programs and outcomes, analyzing the information, developing a plan to improve it, collecting changes after a new plan is implemented, and developing conclusion regarding the improvements is the main task of action research. The main purpose of action research is to improve educational programs within school, within classroom. There are four main types of action research. These are individual action research, collaborative action research, school-wide action research, and district-wide action research. According to their name, their tasks, their objectives are also different. If we define the action research according to us, action research is the process in which participants examines their own educational practice systematically and carefully, using the techniques of research. This is the definition given by Wars. Now we are coming to mixed design. I will deal quantitative research design later, but first I want to deal with it because it is not commonly used, and not generally we have this type of discussion also. Mixed method research is a procedure for collecting, analyzing, and mixing both quantitative and qualitative method in a single study or a series of studies to understand a research problem. This is the definition given by Kurzweil and Peano-Clark. The purpose of this form of research is that both quantitative and qualitative research in combination provided a better understanding of research problem or issues than either research approach alone. Yes, once Rituraj Sakia sir has also declared that, yes, both quantitative research design and qualitative research design, they are not only better, but they are the best. But sometimes the situation is that the research subject or the research field is such type in which only the qualitative research design or quantitative research design is unable to give the solution. So in this case, it is necessary to have a combined design, and that combined design is known as the mixed design. If we talk about the mixed method design, it is characterized by combination at least one quantitative and one qualitative research component. Yes, there must be at least one quantitative component and one qualitative component. The level of the component may be high or less. Sometimes qualitative components are higher and sometimes qualitative components are higher, but at least one must be present to be the mixed research design. Mixed method research is the type of research in which researchers or team or researchers combines elements in quantitative and qualitative research approach. So the question arises, when to use mixed research design? When to use? What is the situation on which we will use this type of research design? There are some answers. When we have both quantitative and qualitative data, that means when we have both type of data in our hand, then why not to use mixed design? Why to use only one design? When one type of research is not enough to expand to answer the question, yes, I have already told in my previous slide also. Sometimes the situation is in such a condition that only one type of research design can't answer all the questions and can't give the right solutions. In that case, it is necessary to have mixed design. When we want qualitative research to help explain quantitative findings, when we want to organize our findings to a large population, in that case, it is necessary to have the mixed type of research design. When we want to provide alternative perspectives to the study, in that case also, we need this type of research design. Now these are the types of mixed methods design. There are 6 types of mixed method design, 6 categories: sequential explanatory design, sequential exploratory design, sequential transformative design, concurrent triangulation design, concurrent embedded design, and concurrent transformative design. There are 6 types of research design in mixed research design. Now, sequential explanatory design, we are discussing about it. This picture is clearly showing that quantitative data and result, when follow up qualitative data and result, and we make the interpretation. This is known as the sequential explanatory research design. Once again, I am telling, when quantitative data result are following up qualitative data result and we make the interpretation and try to get the outcome, this is known as sequential explanatory research design. In this chart, or in this type of research design, we view the study as the 2 basis project. We just collect quantitative data first, followed by collecting qualitative data second. Typically, a greater emphasis is placed on the quantitative data in the study. And this type of research design is known the sequential explanatory. One example I want to forward over here. Example, you first conduct a survey and then follow up with the few individuals who answered positively to the questions through interview. And if you do research in this way, this is known as sequential explanatory research design. Now the next one is sequential Now the next one is sequential exploratory, not explanatory. There are also qualitative data result and quantitative data result. Let's see the first one. There is qualitative data and quantitative data. Yeah, there is quantitative data first. That is following to qualitative data. But here, qualitative data first, and this is following to quantitative data. When qualitative data and the result, just following to quantitative data and result, and we make an interpretation and try to get a result. And this type of research design is known as sequential exploratory research design. Now the next one is sequential transformative design. It has also two phases. The first phase, qualitative and quantitative, and the second phase, quantitative to qualitative. First phase, qualitative to quantitative, and second phase, quantitative to qualitative. If we talk about sequential transformative design, it has two distinct data collection phases. Is we have already and clearly watching this. In the first phase, qualitative data comes first, then the quantitative data comes second. In the second phase, quantitative data comes first and the qualitative data comes second. A theoretical perspectives is used to guide a study to this transformative design, and purpose is to method that will be based on theoretical perspective of researchers. The next one is concurrent triangular design. In concurrent triangular design, we are clearly watching quantitative data result, the right hand side, and the qualitative data result in the left hand side, and two arrows are approaching to each other, and there is the plus sign between these data. That means the qualitative data result, quantitative data result, and qualitative data result, this combined together and make an interpretation and trying to get the result. And this type of design is known as concurrent triangular design. Actually, collecting both quantitative and qualitative data in this process, and in this design, collecting this data at the same time in the research procedures, it analyzes the quantitative and qualitative data separately. Quantitative data analyzed separately, and qualitative data also just interpret separately, and comparing to combine the result of the quantitative and qualitative analysis. First, this data, first quantitative data is analyzed, and the quantitative data is analyzed, and the result of the analyzation is combined together and joined together and make an interpretation and try to get the result. And this type of research design is known as concurrent triangulation research design. Now next one is concurrent embedded design. Concurrent embedded design. Concurrent embedded design is a little different than our first research design. We are clearly watching over here quantitative pre-test data result. Once again, quantitative pre-test data result, and is intervented with quantitative post-test data result, and using the qualitative process and make the interpretation and trying to get out the result. And this type of research design is known as concurrent embedded design. Concurrent embedded design. Actually, in this design, one data collection phases with both quantitative and qualitative data is collected at the same time. Both data are collected at the same time. One is determined to be the primary method. The first collection data is known as the primary data, and that data is used for the second design, and that is known as the secondary data. The primary method guided to project, and the secondary provides supporting to the procedures. The secondary method is embedded or nested within the predominant method and addressed to the different questions and try to find out the result. This is known as the embedded design of concurrent method. Similarly, there is another method. This is known as concurrent transformative design. Concurrent transformative design. Here also we are watching two boxes. In the first box there is a quantitative plus qualitative data. Quantitative plus qualitative data, and in second there is a quantitative is written in a just a small letter, this is not considered the important, but the qualitative is highlighted here. It is considered as an important. So the data, the analysis, quantitative analysis, quantitative and qualitative analyzed data are converted into qualitative method and interpret each other to find out the outcomes. This type of research design is known as concurrent transformative design. Actually, if we talk about the concurrent transformative research design, it has some characteristics. It is guided by theoretical perspectives first. In concurrent collection of both quantitative and qualitative data, quantitative and qualitative data are collected. The design may have one method embedded in the other, so that diverse participants are given choice in the same process in an organization. Now, this is the now we are coming to the quantitative research. This is the quantitative research. Quantitative research is totally different in the process of data collection than in the qualitative research, because I've already shared my ideas that in qualitative research, the data collection is in a written form, a written format, but in quantitative research, data collection is in numerical form, and there are another difference also. In our next slide, we'll discuss on that. But now let's come to know about quantitative research design. Quantitative research design are either descriptive, subjects usually measured once, or experimental, subjects measured before or after a treatment. Descriptive study established by associations between variables, and experimental study established causality. Similarly, quantitative research has also 4 types: descriptive research, experimental research, survey research, and correlation research. Survey research. Actually, what is survey research? Survey research, multiple queries can be raised by the customers and analyze be done in a survey research. This is known as survey research, and there is a cross-sectional and longitudinal. There are 2 kinds of survey research. The duration of the cross-sectional research is very short, but the duration of longitudinal method is very high also. The cross-sectional survey is conducted specific on a target population at the given purpose of time, perhaps a limited period of time. This type of survey are used to conduct research mostly in retail stores, healthcare, trade, etc. In a longitudinal survey, research is conducted a various time duration, longer time, in a long course of time. That are utilized in medicine and applied science. If we go deeply into the survey method, it is the most elementary tool for all sorts of quantitative research techniques. The very most important purpose of the research is to widely explain the characteristics of particular group of a branch of population. This analysis is most typically employed by both small and large organizations for the proper understanding of their customers and to understand the merchandise and product views. Now, descriptive research aims to accurately and systematically describe a population, situation, or phenomenon. It can answer what, where, when, and how questions. Actually, the answer of what question is the things of the community, where answer the place, when answers the time, how answers the way of doing or procedures, but not why questions. This descriptive research does not answer the why questions. It does not give the reason. Descriptive research design can use a wide variety of research methods to investigate one or more variables. And descriptive or qualitative methods include the case study, naturalistic observation, surveys, archival research, longitudinal research, and cross-sectional research. These all are the category of descriptive research. And experiments are conducted in order to determine cause and effect in the relationship. This we find in descriptive research. Now the next one is experimental research. What is experimental research? Experimental research is a scientific approach to research where one or more independent variables are manipulated and applied to one or more independent variables to measure their effect in latter. The effect of independent variables of the dependent variables is usually observed and recorded over some time to aid researchers in drawing researchable conclusion regarding the relationship between these two variables steps. And here is also a simple process for the experimental research. Experimental research, most familiar type of research design for the individuals in physical science and most of the fields. This is mainly because experimental research is classical scientific experiment similar to those performed in high school science classes. Imagine taking two samples of the same plant and exposing one of them sunlight while the other is kept away from sunlight. Let the plant exposed to sunlight be called sample A, while the latter is called sample B. That means the plant which is not kept under the sunlight. If after a duration of the research we find out the sample A grows, sample B dies naturally because sample A was kept under the sun and sample B was kept out of the sun. And to grow the plants or the leaves, sunlight is also necessary. This is the process of experimental research. Now, we are coming very interesting fact that this experimental research, it has also three types: post-test only research, pre-test only research, Solomon 4 groups, factorial, then random block and crossover. 6 types of experimental research design. Then when we go post-test only control design, yes, it is very interesting and I am very fond of it. Since when I was the student of MEd, I have read this in research, education research and methodology. It is a very interesting research design. Actually, the researchers first of all divide the sample into 2 groups. Suppose he is making the experiment to the students of class 10 or the students of class 9 or higher class students. First of all, he divides the students into 2 groups. He named the first groups experimental group and the second group control group. In this, I divided 2 groups. And for the experimental group, the treatment is given. Treatment is given means aid is given, facility is given. And but the control group, no aid, no treatment, no facilities. And at the end of the research, there is the post-test for both group. Post-test for the experimental group also, and post-test for the control group also. And it is expected that the experimental group positive result, expected result, and the control group which have not given treatment, which have not given any facility or aid is expected is expected not to get the same result as the first one. I want to give here one example. Suppose the students of class 10 or class 9, they are aimed to teach the Chinese customs or Chinese traditions. And they are divided into two groups. Perhaps the girls is experimental group and boys are control group. And that girls are shown some videos. They provided some record, or they provided some reading materials about the Chinese customs and the Chinese tradition. But the control group, where the boys were kept, they have not given any treatment, no help. And when there is the post-test, naturally, the experimental group, where the girls were kept, they were far better than the boys because they were given the treatment. Now, the next one is pre-test, post-test. Pre-test and post-test, the only design. And this design is same like the pre-test only design, but there is a little different over here. There is a little different over here that I will expand. In this research design also, the sample are divided into two groups, experimental group and control group. Experimental group and control group. And both groups were taken a pre-test. What was their standard? They were given some questionnaire. They were taken some interviews and find out their standard, their skill, their ability. Then the experimental group, they have given the treatment, some aids, some help, some facilities. And after some period of time, there will be the post-test. And naturally, the both result will be compared. The result of the experimental group and the result of the control group will be compared and try to find out the result. And this type of research design is known as pre-test, post-test only design. Now, next one is Solomon for group design. It is also very interesting. The formula of this research design matches the formula of previous research design. Actually, in this research design, the sample are divided into two parts again, two groups, experimental groups and control groups. But the difference in this research design is that the control group is also divided into control group first and control group second. Similarly, experimental group, it is also divided into two types, experimental first and experimental second. Then the experimental group first and control group first, these two groups involved into pre-test. Pre-test were taken. They were given some questionnaire or interview was taken, and just find out their ability, their skills. And there is one interesting thing that experimental group 1, it has given a pre-test, and in the course of treatment, it was selected to give the treatment, to give the aid, to give the help. But experimental group 2, it was not involved in the pre-test. So it was not known how capable are they, what was their skill. It is not known, but they were given the treatment, the same treatment. Just experimental group once involved in the pre-test, they have given the treatment. And similarly, experimental group 2, they do not have any pre-test, but they are also given treatment, some years. And there is the post-test. And by comparison, these results, these outcomes of the groups, whether they have given the treatment or they have not given treatment. And if the result is calculated, and this type of research design is known as Solomon 4 types research design. Now the next one is randomized block design. In randomized block design, the three blocks or maybe 4 blocks are supposed to be designed over here. Block 1, block 2, and block 3. I have got this slide in the Google, and I found it's very interesting, and I think it is easy for me to make me very clear about the randomized block design. That is why I am using this slide here. So in the first table we have watching here type of hypertensive drug, A drug, B drug, and C drug. In block 1, the patients are kept who are suffering from hypertension only. In block 2, such patients are kept who are suffering from hypertension, but they are suffering from diabetic also. Similarly, in block 3, the patients are kept who are suffering from hypertension and they are suffering from heart disease also. So in the first table, the patient only having hypertension. Block 2, the patients having 2 type of disease. One is diabetic and another is hypertension, and the third one is hypertension and another is heart disease. In these 3 blocks, one disease is common, that is hypertension. Now these 3 types of drug is try to implement over there. Drug 1, drug A, drug B, and drug C. For the patient of hypertension only, drug A is also given, drug B also given, drug C is also given. Similarly, for the patient of diabetic and hypertension, drug A is also given, drug B also given, and drug C also given. Similarly, for the patient of hypertension and heart disease, drug A is also given, drug B is also given, and drug C is also given. I can say this message in another way. Just for the hypertension patients, drug A is given, hypertension plus diabetic, drug A is given, and hypertension plus heart disease, drug A is given. Similarly, hypertension patient, drug B is given, hypertension plus diabetic, drug B also given, and hypertension plus heart disease, drug B also given. Similarly, drug C is also given. And within the course of time and some duration, it try to be calculate which drugs affects more for the patients, and experiment is made. And if this way experiment is done, that is known as random block design. Now the last one is correlation research design. Correlation means a relation between 2 subjects or 2 elements or 2 components. And correlation research design is also categorized into 3 types: positive correlation, negative correlation, and zero correlation. Positive correlation means when one component increases, it is estimated that naturally another element is also increases. Means there is the positiveness. When one element decreases, then another elements is also expected to be decreased in the same ratio. This is known as positive correlation. Positive correlation, both variables changes in the same direction. For example, as height increases, weight also increases. There is the positiveness. As height increases, then the weight also increases. This is the positiveness. And negative correlation, such type of correlation, when one element increases and it is expected that another element decreases. When the first increases, second decreases, and if first decreases, then second increases. This type of correlation is known as negative correlation. The variable changes in opposite direction is negative correlation. As coffee consumption increases, tiredness decreases. This is the negativeness, just opposite. So this is negative correlation. And the third one is zero correlation. That means either the increments or decrements of the first element, it never affects the second element. This is known as zero correlation. There is no relationship between the variables. For example, coffee assumption is not correlated with height or weight. This is negative correlation. Now, in the conclusion, I am trying to make a conclusion on quantitative, qualitative, and mixed research design. If we talk about the nature of quantitative, qualitative, and mixed method, we find that quantitative research design is specific, but it is narrow. It seeks to understand participants' experience. It collects information from large number, and information are in numerical form, in quantitative. But while we are talking about the qualitative, it is general but very broad. It seeks measurable and observable data on use. It collects information from a small number, and information are in written form, not in numerical form. But while we talk about mixed method, more qualitative, less quantitative, more qualitative, less quantitative according to the nature of the research, or less qualitative, more quantitative according to the nature of the research, and qualitative and quantitative will be equal according to the nature of the research. And when we talk about the tools for data collection, in quantitative research design, we use questionnaire, survey, sensors, checklist, and records. But at the same time, while we are collecting data from qualitative research, then we use interview, observation, focus group discussion, case study, different materials, different documents. And when we are talking about the data collection of mixed methods, some tools from the quantitative methods are used, and some tools from the qualitative methods are used, or sometimes all the tools from the qualitative and all the tools from quantitative methods are used to collect the data in mixed method. Similarly, if we are talking about the sample of a quantitative methods are statistical only, but the qualitative are theoretical. And while we are talking about the mixed method, mixed design, it is according to its nature of the research. And research question, if we are talking about the research question, in quantitative research design, fixed and focused type of research questions are used in quantitative research design, but broad and flexible research questions are used in a qualitative research design. But in mixed research design, sometimes the research questions from quantitative, or sometimes the research questions from qualitative, or both can be used here. How to analyze qualitative, quantitative, and mixed research design? The way of analyzing in a quantitative research design is test hypothesis, use data to support conclusion. But in qualitative, illustrative explanation and individual response are enough. But in mixed research design, sometimes qualitative analysis, or sometimes quantitative analysis, or sometimes some part of the qualitative and some part of the quantitative are used in mixed research design. Now, thank you very much. I have completed my presentation, my sharing ideas. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.